Oh, hey, so today we're going to be putting a top end in this Beta 350, and honestly, I've never done the top end in a Beta 350, so we're going to learn together. Join me as we finish taking this thing apart and take a look what's inside. Customer's complaint was bike doesn't seem to run really. It's hard to start, it doesn't run very well, sometimes it doesn't run at all. He thought it was spark. That's always a, maybe. What he didn't mention when he first dropped it off was that he had to add oil to it every ride. So now we know that, which is awesome. And we know that it's burning lots of oil, and we know it needs at least a piston. So we're going to take the thing apart and find out. Hopefully that's all it needs, but if it needs more, then we'll do that too. So, as a lot of you may know, I'm not a huge fan of Beta motorcycles, but that right there is 10 times better than any modern KTM with the pipe that's around the forever. And thank you, Beta. Already interesting. Alright, so positive number 2 for Beta, you can get the carburetor out without taking the shock off. That's awesome. So I don't have to support the bottom of the bike, and so cool, happy with that. They use an FCR carburetor, which is a great carburetor. Of course, now they're all fuel injected, but this one's still got a carb on it. But hey, I have something interesting to show you again. Crazy, huh? So, this gentleman, like I said, did not know that his bike needed a top end, just that the thing kept burning oil. And let me give you maybe the reason why. So, you look at that air filter. It's pretty disgusting, pretty dry. I haven't taken it off yet, obviously we're going to. But let's look inside the carburetor. Oh, look at that. There's a film of dirt and grime and mud. Yeah. That means that that has been leaking dirt into that, which then goes into that, which then makes for a sad motor. The upside is it probably hasn't ruined anything. Hopefully we can just clean it up and put it back together. Hopefully the cylinder plating's good and all that. But yeah, keep the air filter clean and oiled, people. Please, 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 please. Valve cover comes off easy, that's good. So one of the things that I do when I'm working on a motor I haven't worked on before, and I don't have the manual right in front of me, I can get one, I can download it if I need it, but is when I'm taking it apart, I like to check and see what top dead center looks like before I disassemble it, so that when I'm timing the cams and I put it back together, it's easier. I can take pictures or whatever, but so take a look at this. Most bikes are going to have some sort of mark on the cams. You can see there, for when the cams line up with top dead center. Generally, that's going to be when cam lobes, this is of course top dead center compression, it's going to be when the cam lobes are up and away from pushing on the valves, because it's going to be fully compressed. So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Beta, in their infinite wisdom, has given me no way of checking to see if the piston is at top dead center. So, at least not that I can find, because there's no hole like in the KTM down here where you would put the thing in to hold it at top dead center. There's a hole, it's machined, it looks like it's supposed to be there, but there's nothing there. So I'm gonna maybe take this plug off and take a look in there and see, but I feel pretty good. The other thing you can do is take this spark plug out and put a long skinny screwdriver in there and rotate it over until you find where it's at the top dead center. So that's old school, by the way. So I feel pretty good about that. I know that where the timing marks are and everything like that. So now Gonna go ahead and take the rest of the thing apart. So you see that right there? The distance between that and the frame is something that drives people like me crazy, because you can't, it's really hard to get a tool in there to loosen that. My guess is it may not come out very easily either. That's ridiculous. Poo so far.
Street bikes in general, this is not.
No, no, it's not. Not. Well, that's interesting. Never seen that before. Looks a lot like a KTM. Got everything loose. Let's see what's inside this thing. Because you have to take the cylinder head most of the way off to get the bolts out of it. It's stupid. There's dumb. Actually, doesn't look too horrible bad. And we got it right. We're at top dead center. But look at that. Definitely some carbony buildup from the Earl. Get that cleaned up. Cylinder looks pretty good. Gotta clean her up and take a real good look. All right, so we got her apart, and let's take a look at some things here. Definitely some carbon built up on the piston, but not just horrible, really. Not as bad as you think, with as much as I think it was burning oil. So that's not that bad. Little known fact, I don't know if you can read that, but out there it says Vertex. So they just use Vertex pistons, just like KTM used to. KTM still uses Vertex on their 2-stroke, but not on their 4-stroke so much anymore. It's really a lot like a KTM motor. It's really close. So one thing that I don't love is the way this frame and everything, you have to, it's a contortion to get everything out of there. So I don't love that. But everything looks good. Cam chain looks good. We have a new one, so we'll obviously put that in there. But come over here, head very much like a KTM. Got these little followers on top of the valves. You know, it's a lot like a KTM. The head, really not as bad as I thought. We're gonna have to clean it all up. All that is even after pressure washing and trying really hard to get off. So, yuck. But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up, get everything done. The cylinder is already in the ultrasonic cleaner right now, getting clean. So I'm gonna clean this situation up, get that piston off, put the new piston on, have that ready to go for when we get everything ready. Flywheel's got to come off. Get the cam chain off, new one in. KTM puller. New cam chain's in. Now, you may be thinking, well, that cam chain looked really good, Morgan, and it did. But if you're going to go through all this work, you might as well have everything brand new so that something doesn't fail and go. Boom. We got the cylinder and piston back on, looking real nice. Now we got to put valve seals in it. The valves are actually in good shape, but the valve seals, while we're doing all this, we're going to put new seals in it so that we make sure it doesn't leak any oil or burn any oil. So there we go. We're going to get this thing apart. I'm not going to go through all this because we just already did that video with the KTM. Basically the same idea. Take them out, clean them up, put them back in, all that. Let me show you something. As I'm taking these apart to pull the valves out, put new seals on, I went to pull the keeper off, and I pull it off, and look at that. That's a piece of the valve spring. Turns out the other one's broken too. So that sucks. Just when you think you're going to get a big job done and get it all buttoned up for the guy and make him super happy, crap like that happens. Bummer. And unfortunately, because it's a beta, no one's going to have those springs in stock.